Hello, 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 Facebook. Hey, I'm coming in to share with you how to find an attorney today. Look, I just finished speaking today at the Christian Business Owners Summit for 2025. It was amazing. I taught and I trained on prepare for war, strategies to win in business. And I touched on two strategies, such as knowing the rules of engagement and understanding legal jurisdiction and authority, that I want to come here today and I want to share with you to help you prepare for war, Kingdom CEO, to understand that you need strategic advisors and you need a pre-war preparation. And so I'm going to talk to you regarding those two topics about prepare for war. Now, give me just a moment because see, one of the things is Instagram's then switched up on me, and when they did that, baby, they took away the opportunity to go live. And so I'm trying to pull up my Facebook so I can make sure that you can actually see me going live. All right, it looks like I am good. Now, first and foremost, let me briefly introduce myself. I am Chayla Jackson, the Purpose Police, here to serve and protect Kingdom CEOs so that you are armed and legally dangerous to protect God's business and your business too. I am the founder of Armed and Legally Dangerous, and I want to give you a strategy and a few strategies really quick to help you be armed and legally dangerous before war hits. Okay, so understand that in a war, I don't know if you've ever seen a war room, but in a war room, there are strategic advisors. There are generals in a war room, commanders in a war room. There are people who are knowledgeable about war in that particular territory. When you get ready to either protect your business or a legal issue pops up or there's a lawsuit, that's not the time that you want to be scrambling to find an attorney. That's not the time that you want to be trying to find who can help me fight this battle. You want to be prepared before the battle ever arrives. Because if you're not prepared, you might end up spending money on the wrong attorney, wasting your money because you don't understand how attorneys bill, but also you might choose the bad lawyers. Like, look, when I say lawyer and attorney, I'm talking interchangeable. This is the reality of it. It's not all lawyers are good. And you don't want to wait until a lawsuit hit. You don't want to wait until an issue pops up to you to try to find an attorney. And so I want to give you some strategy on how you find a strategic advisor. Because see, in the war room with nations, they're not just listening to anyone. They're listening to people with experience. They're listening to people who know how to fight on this battleground. They're listening to people taking advice to prepare for the war on this jurisdiction. And so today, when I was speaking and teaching on prepare for war, strategies to win in business, I shared two. One of them is know the rules of engagement. The other one is understand legal jurisdiction and authority. Hey, Radia, hey. Look, when we talk about jurisdiction and we talk about, look, strategic advisors, we're prepare for war, find your strategic advisors and have a pre-war preparation. This is pre-war preparation. Lawyers are strategic advisors for your business before war and during war and even after war. They help you avoid being a casualty of war. But you will end up spending more money if you don't understand this. You'll end up looking in the wrong place. You'll end up going to the wrong attorney if you don't understand this. Lawyers cannot practice in every jurisdiction in the United States. Lawyers don't practice every practice area. You have to look in the right jurisdiction. So if it's a business legal topic, if it's contracts, if it's formation, if it's anything that does with state law, employment, you're looking for an attorney licensed in your state, your jurisdiction. You got to understand it so you don't waste your time. But if you are looking for trademarks, if you're looking for copyrights, now you're looking for an attorney who's licensed in the United States. any state because it's a federal jurisdiction. State has jurisdictional authority within their boundaries. You need a state licensed attorney for those topics. Federal has jurisdiction over the entire United States. It doesn't matter where the attorney is licensed as long as they're licensed in the United States. Now, here's where kingdom CEOs get it confused. See, you can have more than one attorney. See, in the war room, they don't just have one advisor. They have multiple advisors because your business attorney may not be able to advise you in a commercial area, but they may be able to advise you in contracts. Oh, your trademark attorney may not be able to advise you in business because they're not licensed in your state, but they got strategy to help you protect your brand over the jurisdiction of the United States and even prepare you to go global. Oh, how many of you are preparing to go global? You have to understand jurisdiction because U.S. trademarks protect your brand in the U.S., not in the U.K. So you have to understand the rules of engagement in another jurisdiction. All right, now we're talking about pre-war preparation as well. So that means you need to prepare before war to find your legal strategic advisors. You got time now before a lawsuit to go do some research. What attorneys do you like? What attorneys seem like a good fit for you? You can do the research now to prepare because when war hits, you're going to be scrambling and you don't want to choose the wrong advisor. Wars sometimes turn. Wars are won sometimes just by having the right advisors in the room. You don't want to mess this up. Now, this is why you want to do this pre-op, because when you're looking for an attorney, I want to give you this so you can keep your legal bills within a certain parameter, because some people are shocked, and because they don't understand the legal billing system, they end up going with an attorney who will cost them more. And when you're in a lawsuit, the person who has the most money, the person who can outlast you can win, even if you had a chance, even if your case, it was in your favor. I'm trying to tell you, because this is war too. If anybody in war has more resources, they can outlast you. All they got to do is drag it out long enough to wear you out, wear your resources out, wear your patience out, wear your mental health out. And now all of a sudden you giving up, you're throwing in the white flag and you had lost the war, even when you had the winning hand. Oh, this is what you got to understand. And so when you're looking for an attorney, because you got to get your advisors in line now, when you're looking for an attorney, what you're looking for is you're looking for how they bill. You want to ask them, how do they bill? Look, there are different billing types when it comes to attorneys. One you are most familiar with because most people ask about it. It's hourly billing. Hourly billing. This is where they're charging you per hour. If you are about to go into a fight, this is the danger zone of how your legal bill will go up, because they're charging you per hour. They're charging you per everything they do, even the research. There's a lot in preparing for the war of a lawsuit that will cause your legal bill to go up and up, which means if you ain't got the money, honey, you may not be able to last to win this war. And so you need to pay attention. Ask them, how do you bill? If they bill hourly and that's what you want to go for, what do you bill for? There's some attorneys that will charge you for every email they send. There's some attorneys that will charge you for every conversation you have. Oh, that comes away from your resources to be in the long game of winning this war. And so you might want to steer away from hourly billing if you're concerned about your budget. And so you want to look for an attorney that does flat fees. Flat fees. Flat fees. What that means is for a certain fee, you're going to get a bundle of services. For a certain fee, they're going to work this amount on your case. This is how you have the expectancy of this is what it's going to cost me in order to win this war. Now you have attorneys that do retainer. Retainer is almost similar to hourly billing, but you want to ask them, how do they bill against the retainer? A retainer is just you pay a certain amount up front to have that attorney retained for you when you need them. Now, Those are the three main ways that you can hire an attorney for the war of a lawsuit. Now, some attorneys do subscription billing, but I'm not going to touch on that right now. But I want you to understand you need to know this now. So as you start doing your research to find your strategic advisors, your attorneys, your board of advisors, you don't have to reach out to them now. Don't waste the attorney time if you ain't ready. You're just making a list of who I can reach out to when it's time for war. And you follow them online. You get a sense of who they are. Do they fit your business? And for kingdom CEOs, you want to know who their God is. Come on now, who their God is. Leverage the Holy Spirit, the greatest strategic advisor there is, especially in war. Who is my legal advisor? Because you won't need a lawyer. And here's where you mess up, because some of you think I can skip the legal bill. Let me tell you something now. In the United States, if you're not in small claims court, you are required in most states to have an attorney, because a corporation is its own person, and a person cannot be represented by somebody else that's not counsel. Oh, you can represent yourself, but you and your business, you and your LLC, you and your corporation are not the same person. So you got to invest. That's why you got to find your advisors now, so that when war hits, you're not scrambling. Call this person for this. So when you're searching, understand what they provide. Follow them. You don't have to contact just yet. Just save it. And then get a sense for who they are. You don't want an attorney who's going to make you feel like you stupid. Baby, you are a kingdom citizen. Baby, God has chosen you. Your legal advisor is for backup, not to take over. And always understand that as a kingdom CEO, even when you're working with counsel, this is your case. Don't be afraid to ask the question, speak up, and make sure that that attorney is the right one for you. This is Prepare for War. I didn't intend to go this long. I wanted to come on really briefly because I just finished speaking earlier today on Prepare for War strategies to win in business. If you want to prepare for war, if you're like, I need more strategies, spiritual strategies, and legal strategies, then you can grab the Prepare for War bundle. Yeah, I got a bundle, y'all. A bundle at onedangerousceo.com/war bundle. You can get it for $30 until September 30th. Because the other part of war that you need to understand, especially in litigation, is that if you violate the laws of doing business, if you lose your liability protection and you don't even realize it, whenever the war hits in a lawsuit, now instead of just hitting the business, they can go beyond the business and get to your personal assets. You got to be prepared for war. You have to understand. And there are some war strategies in legal. There are some war strategies that will help you win your lawsuit before the lawsuit ever gets to court. And if you don't understand that, you can lose the battle before the battle even starts. So this is Prepare for War, strategic advisors and pre-war operations. Look, Marines train in peacetime. They don't wait till war to start training, and neither should you. Go look for your panel of legal advisors. Start seeing what's their jurisdiction. Am I looking for contracts, business, trademarks? What's their jurisdiction? If it's state, you need a state licensed attorney. If it's federal, you can have an attorney that's licensed in any state. I'm licensed in every state for trademarks. You have to understand that, as well as for copyright. And so start making your list now, because I'm telling you, I've heard the stories. My clients have felt the pain of choosing the wrong attorney, the legal bill going up, and trying to figure out how they're going to pay for it. Because when the war of the lawsuit happens, it takes your time away from being able to run the business and get the money flowing. But it also takes your focus and peace of mind if you're not rooted in Christ Jesus, the Prince of Peace. So that's all for me this Saturday. You can grab the Prepare for War bundle at onedangerous.com. onedangerousceo.com, /war bundle. This will be uploaded to our YouTube channel because Facebook gives 30 days now. And so you can subscribe at One Dangerous CEO. That's our tag for YouTube. So you can get access to the rest of our recordings and trainings that I do. I am Chayla Jackson, the Purpose Police, and I want to encourage and empower you to prepare for war. Start looking for your strategic advisors and prepare now before the war hits. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday, y'all.